Okay, hello everyone. I hope that you not fall asleep after lunch. My name is Robert. I'm Sitecore MVP from this year, and I'm working as a solution architect in SoftServe. You can find me on Twitter on the nick Robson Automator. I have also a blog. Let's share Senktas.net. I'm in IT industry about 17 years, so I'm starting from C++ and go to the .NET, and from last 3 years I'm working about automations and about the cloud solutions. This is kind of picture that probably everyone have in his head when download Sitecore installation guide and read this guide and try to understand how to make Sol running, how to run this PowerShell stuff, how to install all prerequisites, and we also have this, and we try to make this process a little bit simpler and well organized. We developed two solutions. The first one is Sitecore Install Extension. All Sitecore modules has a sexy name, so we call our SIX. And this is a SIF extension, right? So this is a set of PowerShell modules that extend SIF with a lot of useful tasks and with tasks that are lack in the SIF. The second thing is Sitecore Install Platform. This is .NET application and web application, and this is kind of GUI for SIX and SIF. And I will show this later. Okay, so you can ask, guys, we have SIF. Why you develop the SIX and Sitecore Install Platform? Oops, too fast. SIF, of course, have kind of advantages, right? Standardize the way how we should install Sitecore and provides quite good approach to processing parameters and variables, and is extension friendly. It's very easy to extend this with another modules, another tasks. But from us, I mean community and customer perspective, there is no roadmap. We don't know in which way SIF will come, what, for example, task they would like to implement it in the future. And there are also several teams who work on this. There is SIF Commerce, which is maintained by a different team than SIF Core. And SIF Commerce have a lot of features that should be included in the core, right? With SIF Commerce, you can install modules, you can install updates, you can publish items from SIF level, and you can also rebuild indexes. So this should be kind of the core, right? But you need to download Commerce SIF and reuse this task if you would like to have this functionality in the SIF core. And also there is a big gap between needs and the SIF features. That's why we decided to create our own solution. Okay, what features are available in SIX? SIX work precisely the same way like SIF. So this is SIF extension module. We have tasks that allow user to install prerequisites for Sitecore 8 and Sitecore 9. You can install SOAR with this all certificates. With other things we can install MongoDB, and we can also install all prerequisites required by Sitecore 9. All these packages that are listed in the installation guide. We also create some tasks for install Sitecore 8 to have the same way to install Sitecore 8 and Sitecore 9 with SIF. We also provide kind of storage functionalities. I will talk about this later. We also provide functionality to generate and to manage sensitive data like passwords. And finally, we have a kind of task And with task, we can easily extend the SIF framework. We don't need to develop some SIF task, but we need to wrap PowerShell in the SIF task and run it. Okay, the first feature, storage. Do you know how many files we have to download to install XP0 with all prerequisites? 15. And if we multiply this by number of Sitecore versions used in your company, in your projects, and if you add modules necessary for Sitecore, like SXA, Sitecore PowerShell extension, and others Active Directory module, we got quite big number. That's why we decided to create some kind of central repository for all artifacts necessary for Sitecore installation. This could be local storage. If your company is in one place, we can use Azure Storage because Sitecore loves Azure. And we can also use AWS as free storage. For now, we put all the necessary files with some, and we organize these files. And now in easy way with Sitecore Install Azure module, this is part of SIF, we can easily download all these files to the local machine or to the server. To achieve this, we have just 2 tasks. The first one is just log into the Azure. This task asks us for the credentials only once when we run this task first time, and store this credential locally. So on our development environment, we can enter credentials once and forget about this. And the second is get blob content. Here is some example that we can download all necessary files for XP0. Now I will try to have some demo. Okay, can you see? This is just sample script. If we run it, you have to wait a little bit. This demo uses Azure modules, so it's loading all these modules, takes some time. And we are also logging to the Azure, right? And that's it. In easy way, we can, not this one. In action right here, and we download some files to our local computer, local machine. So, and this is repetitive way, right? We once configure this kind of task and just use it in any place we need it. Okay. The second functionality is that we add, there are installing prerequisites, because for now we have a lot of prerequisites. There are some system requirements necessary for install Sitecore, search requirements, I mean installing Solar, database requirements, and Sitecore requirements itself. And from version to version, number of these requirements is growing and growing. And with 6, we can install, as I mentioned, for example, Solar. This install Java runtime, and Rollback Mongo, Mongo, Solar, and run Solar as a service. Now I will try to show the demo, how to install Solar. Oops. Okay, I have some problem. Come on. Okay. Not this one. This task will generate all certificates, self-signed certificates. We'll export these certificates to the files, also install Java runtime, and install Solar, run Solar as a service. We have to wait a little because the installation is in progress. Additionally, we also able to install all packages. Okay, I switched to the presentation for a while, like a Thomas, because this process is not. Come on. With this prerequisites task, we can install, for example, all features required in the system. We just need to list these features that we need in the operating system, and we can install all these features. We can install .NET framework, we can install web platform installer, web deploy, URL rewrite, these modules necessary for installing SQL databases. And finally, we perform this task from manual set container database authentication. So, and of course, these tasks are universal, so we can install whatever we need also. We just need to pass exe or MSI file with arguments and run it, this task. So if there's some new requirements will come, we just need to add the additional task to install this. And there is also a task to check if the package is already installed. If there is, we do not install again the same package. Okay. I'm sure that all is still during installation, so I will go to the next topic and show the demo. During Sitecore installation, we have a lot of sensitive data. Its database password is Sitecore password. We need to provide some keys for AXM, for Telerik. For development workstation, this password is okay, right? But if you need to install everything on the production, this is not a good way. So to fix this, we have the following functionalities. We create two config functions, right? Because only config functions in SIF can return some value. So we create two config functions for generate the password and for generate some random hex string for AXM. During the password, you can pass the number of characters would you like to use. The same for random hex. And we create a task, and this task is able to store this generated value in Azure Key Vault. We decide for this because if we store this sensitive data in some external system, there is really easy to manage access to this data, to share this data with the team, and automate some things. For example, if you would like to exchange passwords, we need to just run simple PowerShell script that will generate new password and change this password in SQL database or Azure or whatever we want. But if we store this all information in the Azure, we need to get this information somehow back to our scripts. And for this purpose, there is config function get secret. We need just to pass the information about the key vault name and our secret name. Additionally, we're working also on stored certificates in this Azure Key Vault because during XConnect installation we need a lot of certificates, and we can store the certificates also in this Azure and just during installation grab these certificates from there. So it's easy to distribute this, right? To be honest, we don't need to redistribute all these secrets because they are in one place and we can get this data from there. Okay, let's try to back to the Solar. Windows. Okay. Too many windows. Why you cannot see? Okay, maybe. Okay. Oh, come on. Okay. Okay, so this installed. This last error is because just after Sol is installed and runs a service, we try to read something from the Solar, and Sol is for sure not ready. Okay, let's try to open. And this running Solar as a service do not need any additional things like NSS or any other application to run Solar as a service. Okay. And that's it. Solar is ready. The most consuming time is installing Java Runtime Framework. Okay, now I will show task for the sensitive data. Just run it. And in the meantime, I will try to log into the Azure portal. I forgot to log in there. Okay, here is the key vault, and this one, let me check how I call Sitecore deploy key vault. And here's everything okay. Okay. It's secrets, not keys. And here we have generated secrets, right? And now we can do whatever we want. We can, for example, easily grant access for some administrators, and we do not need to pass this secret data by emails or any other way. Just give access here, and they can easily log into every system. And as I mentioned, here's also possibility to generate and keep certificates here. And now we are working on some task that will generate certificates in Azure Key Vault and get the certificates from Azure Key Vault. Okay. And the second demo, here is example how we can easily extend Sitecore Install framework with our own PowerShell. For example, there is lack of task for exporting certificates. SIF has a task to generate the certificates, but it's not able to export these certificates to prefix file. So this is piece of code that do this. Let's check if it works. Okay. And here is the certificate. I can delete it to prove it that it works. Okay, we have it. And we have to just convert this string, this script, in one-liner, right? To easily use it in our tasks. I will show you how it looks. Okay. And here is export certificate. So we have a task with type script block, and of course we have to define all required parameters for our script, and just put this one-liner to the script parameter, and that's it. So if there is lack of some functionality in the SIF, we can quite easily extend it with few lines of PowerShell script. We don't have to wait for, you know. Okay, let's switch back to the presentation. Okay, we got it. Finally, at the beginning, we start create this module for ourselves, but we decide to push this module to the GitHub because I think that with community involvement, this module can grow faster, right? Can have better quality because if a lot of people will try to use it in different environments and different configurations and report some bugs, then for sure quality will be better. And we can have more features, right? If some other people will be involved in creating this task. And with more features, we can cover more needs required by Sitecore installation process. This module is available on the GitHub. For now, we have two modules, the core module, Sitecore Install Extensions, and module Sitecore Install Azure, with some functionalities required by Azure, so supporting Azure Storage, supporting Azure Key Vault. But the joy is using software, not installing. That's why we create Sitecore Install Platform. Sitecore Install Platform is a kind of web application written in .NET Core. There are two pieces, the Angular frontend and IPA application. So even during installation process, we can automate, because if we create some configuration, we can just get this configuration by some client application to get all settings and use this in the installation process. We have storage in Azure with JSON who describe the whole configuration process and steps. And also in this Azure, there are all required files for the installation process. And we get this all configuration in JSON format, display this configuration. I will show how it looks, how this GUI looks. And the output from this, there is zip file with a Sitecore install script. If, for example, we have several rows, then in the zip file, we get a script for each row. Additional thing is that we are able from this application trigger deployment in Azure and also in AWS. But this is deployment to virtual machines. This is not a PaaS model, but IaaS model. Okay, and now I will show you application. Come on. So this is proof of concept. So the first step, we can choose the supported by our application versions, right? Because first we have to pre-configure everything for each Sitecore version. Next, we can choose modules that we would like to deploy to our project, some versions. Next, we can choose the topology that we would like to deploy. For now, we're supporting just three, the main three, right? Today we have opportunity to see how many possibilities there is. But for this we have, and here is, for example, standalone installation. Here we can see all the steps required for this installation. Here is kind of GUI to manage parameters. And now we're working because, as you can see, there is many steps, right? But some parameters we have to repeat in each step. So we're working on solution to trying to put this all parameters in one screen, only to configure required parameters. Because some of them you can generate and you don't have to configure, right? And depends on if you split this for several servers, also you can get the link to the servers during installation process. You don't need to pass this in this step. And the idea is that we should, for example, if we would like to scale our solution, just, for example, move some parts to different server. This is most complicated. So this is XP1 topology, right, with the all configurations. And again, we can move here to generate server, or for example, we can put this stuff here, right? Oh, something doesn't work, or yeah. Okay. And if we configure everything, now as I mentioned, we focused on make this configuration convenient as much as possible. Okay? And as you can see, we can generate files for each role to install Sitecore or Solar or Xconnect. And let's open one file. And here is a script. You can, with all necessary files to download to install this, and parameters that you put in this configuration process. So, with, of course, some kind of requires, because to properly install Sitecore with Ceph, you need run script as administrator, run PowerShell with this version, right, 5.1, and you have to run 64 bits environment. Because if you try to install with, for example, if you run ISA in wrong mode, then you will be in the trouble. So this script also follows the best practices, right, from PowerShell point of view. And we can also deploy to AWS and Azure. But we working also on the screen because if we would like to deploy somewhere, we need to specify some parameters, and this is missing. We need to choose what kind of virtual machine we would like to use, which region, this kind of things. For example, which one key vault we would like to use. So this is in progress. Any questions to this application?
Is it also open source and we can contribute?
This I don't know. For now not, but we will see, right? Because feedback is very important, right? Because if community tell us, yes, this is great, we need it, we would like to contribute it, that probably yes. But it's company decision, right?
Is there also a prerequisites install script for Sitecore Commerce in 6?
For Sitecore Commerce, not yet.
When is that?
It depends, because this is, it's important project, but internal project, right?
This can wait.
Yeah, but for now we have 2 projects on Sitecore Commerce, so I think that this is also our need to make it running as soon as possible.
The exporting to Amazon, can you also export to a, well, also already existing topology?
No, no, for now no. Just create completely new topology.
Will it be possible in the future?
Yeah, maybe. But first we would like to focus on simplicity, right? To make this process as simple as possible, and then extend with different features.
You said that Ceph lacks some kind of roadmap. Is there any roadmap for
No. There is no roadmap, because we don't know in which, for example, which task will be added in the future, right? What kind of features will be supported by Ceph, for example, in next 6 months? We don't know that.
And do you have any roadmap for the 6? Is there any roadmap for the 6 and 6?
Sorry, I don't
What
understand.
will be the next step after
After 6?
6 and 7? Yeah.
But the question is there a roadmap for 6?
The roadmap for 6 is, yes, is community involvement. This is the first one. And the second one is make possible to install different topologies, right? But we have to put some restrictions here, right? Because it doesn't make sense to install some kind of configuration as not allowed, right? So we need to build to this application some kind of restrictions.
Probably the first milestone will be the payment step before the download of the file, right?
Yes, the first should be download the file and prove it that it works. Okay, generally that's everything what I have. Come on. So, if you don't have more questions or that's So please find this module and contribute. Yep.
For the first step you showed, like it downloads the files to install. Does it download the files from the Sitecore developer portal?
No, it's from Azure Storage.
So
Because we create some Azure Storage and put all files there, all required files there.
you are
Bec-
providing.
Yeah, and it's faster than downloading files from the Sitecore portal. Yes.
Based on some, placed on some network share.
Yeah, yeah. But this we do not support for now, right?
Does Sitecore agree with that? Because normally to download the files, you need to be a certified developer. Now
Yeah.
you're opening that to everybody.
But this is not public. Yes.
It's up to you because you define the place that you want to get these files. So you define the storage. So
Yes.
each
This-
of us can define our own storage. And it could be
Yes.
on our own AWS or our own computers.
Yes, this is not public storage.
Okay, I need to get them from the
Yourself,
dev portal and
Yeah,
get
and
them.
put it
Yeah.
in the storage that you want to store.
Yes, exactly. Build it as you need.
Yeah, yeah.
There is task to, for example, if you have local storage, to move it to the Azure, right? Just put the base, the root folder, and the same structure will be built in the Azure. So it's easy, right?
More questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.